Yeah, hi guys. I'm actually creating one project on that. Uh, on that project, I created so many projects, and then I have actually I used it is the Java 17 version as well, and I used it. Let me check in the project user info. This is the project. Okay, inside the project I let open the form.xml file. Okay, here it is open, right? Form.xml file. Here coming what I have used, it is the username. Okay, it is the group id. My group id is com job stock group. Okay, and then actually we are using the dependencies jpa data jpa repository, starter web repository, dev tools. It is for the restarting the server. Okay, and then it is spring dog open api starter web mvc. This is used for the it is rest api documentation create. Okay, swagger ui creation purpose we are using this one, and h2 database for database connection. It is the backend, and lombok. Okay, instead of your getting getter and stator method, instead of using them, simply we can use lombok. Okay, it is boilerplate code. It is avoid the boilerplate of code. Okay, implementation, and then yeah, that's all about the dependency related thing. Okay, and I have created it is this is the project skeleton. Whatever I created the project skeleton, this one. Okay, in the project skeleton I used the com java full stack guru. This is the base package. Okay, this is the starter class, right? Starter class has a few of the annotations at the rate spring boot application annotation. We will check here the at the rate spring boot application annotation. It is an interface. Okay, that is actually that contain few of the annotation as well. Okay, that is at the rate configuration, at the rate configuration, uh, at the rate scan. Okay, and at the rate enable auto configuration. These are the annotations supported by the spring application. Okay, we will check here this one configuration class. Okay, this one is support for the configuration, and this is the base package. It will support here component scan. Okay, and enable auto configuration. The enable auto configuration, it will automatically detect depending on the dependencies, it will automatically detect the application. Okay, that's that's all about the spring boot application annotation. Okay, and we created few of the module, few of the packages, that is the controller, entity, exception, and custom exception we implemented in our application, and a repository for the persistence layer implementation purpose. We implemented a repository as well, and service business logic we implemented inside the service only. The service has again one interface and an implementation class. Interface, it is the abstract method we implemented inside that. It is give the security of that application. Okay, instead of you are using direct user and info service, uh, the hiding the actual logic by using the implementation classes. Let in the entity class we created here user info class. That user info class we created entity class, entity annotation, and data. It is data that this data, it is equal to the all of the getter and setters, two strings, okay, hash code, hash value, these things it will support, okay. And the user info, we implemented few of the elements or few of the things we implemented inside that. It is a private integer id, it is a dynamically it will increase, okay, by using generated value. It is the strategy type is the generation type. Identity, here identity means it will support only the mysql database. If instead of using identity you can use different things as well, like we will check here. Instead of using auto generation, it is automatically detect depending on the application or depending on the backend database related thing, it will automatically detect by using the generation type is auto, okay. The identify means it is identity means it will support only MySQL database related thing, it will support. Sequence means it is the Oracle related database it will support, okay. That's all about, okay. And then here we dynamically it will increase by using them at the rate id annotation, okay. We took so few of the elements here, okay. Private integer id, private integer string name, private string email, private string department, these things we implemented, okay. And then we implemented after that it is a repository class as well, a repository interface. That repository interface is the custom interface we implemented here, user info repository. This repository is extends to the JPA repository. That JPA repository it will support CRUD operations as well as queue by query by example, paginations. These will extraordinary features it will provide, it will give you, okay. As ready-made methods it will provide, okay. Inside that you can share the class user info class, and then what type of id is there, like that you can mention here. And then after we implemented it is a service package. Inside the service package we implemented one more, that is interface service, user info service. Inside the user info service interface we implemented abstract methods, that is user info, create user info, okay. And create user info means it will support the creation of the object, okay. Then because here it is provided the hide the actual logic, okay. If it is hacker or whatever it is the it will happen, it will won't verify anything outside of the world, okay. That is the reason we implemented here. And user info get user info by id, it is you can get the user info by id, it will give, okay. It will provide back into and list of the user as well, okay. And then we can use update and delete things we implemented here, okay. And then it is implement here whatever we implemented interface, here we are implementing that interface. User info service implements IMPL implements the user info service, right? Here auto add the persistence logic, that user info repository here. And then we are creating the creating user and creating user by id, okay. Creating the all user, okay. Getting the all user, getting the user by id, and updating the user existing user, okay. And deleting the existing user by using the integer, okay. That's why we created. Most important part in this application we implemented controller. That controller class has a so many things here, whatever this is the url of that, if you need to sonar related thing you can define here, okay. This you can locally start your uh, sonar server, right. In the server, in the maven you can put here this one, this whatever it is the given thing here you can put in the like we can update those things, like here I can show. If you need to build those things in the sonar queue by using them, you can here maven build. Inside the maven build you should here mention this one, whatever it is I given, you can mention here, and up you can run, Okay, the whatever it is the sonar issues, it will show inside the admin of the sonar UI. Okay, this is the sonar, URL, localhost sonar URL. And then whatever it is I implemented, we added a few of the dependencies in the in that one, right? Dependencies whatever we implemented inside, this will show the Swagger UI, whatever it is. Okay, the Swagger UI, it will show in the getter method, setter method, whatever it is. It is the HTTP methods, it will show there in the Swagger UI. Okay, here we implemented at the rate REST controller annotation. At the rate REST controller annotation means it is a distributed application, it will implementing here. It will view page, it will show as a JSON or XML. There is no view page, HTML page. Okay, and it will backend communication to front end communication, it will happen by at the rate cross origin annotation. Okay, and request mapping here, by depending on the request mapping you can put here. Okay, and that it is created user info REST controller here. And backend whatever it is created user info service interface here, auto wide. Okay, it will communicate with a service to the controller by using the auto wide annotation. Okay, and here annotation we post mapping, here post mapping HTTP methods bind with the HTTP. This HTTP methods is the REST response entity. Response entity is creating the user info service. Okay, user info service here creating. When you are creating the user info, it will show as the 201 created, right? On that, and if you need to update that whatever it is creating object, you can use the get mapping by using the URL. Inside that, in the URL you can put in the ID like that. Okay, let I will show here practically whatever it is. I need to start the application. Here Springboot application, Springboot application. Just wait. Okay, sorry guys, there is a small disturbance happened. Yeah, it is started that application, right? In the 8085 application, just whatever I taken, whatever I took this one, right? This local host, you can take this one, copy here, and just you need to put here. Okay, you will all the things here. Okay, whatever I implemented, get request and post request. If you need to create the user, like that, it is UI of that Swagger UI here, right? No need to explicitly, no need to mention ID. It will automatically database, it will dynamically increase that ID. Okay, name for example Lakshman, and the email I implemented like lakshman@gmail.com. Okay, and then department developer. Okay, this is the whatever is the user information here I print. Okay, I am creating that post mapping. Okay, just you need to execute those things. Okay, whether it is creating or not, just you can check here 201. 201 means it is the created. Okay, successfully created that object here. A response body, it will showing here identity ID is 1. Won't anything no, we cannot mention that ID, but the database, it will taking that dynamically, because we implemented these things. Like here we implemented in the annotation part user info here @ID generated value. These things, it will what will do, it will dynamically take that ID backend. Okay, if let, we can check again. Okay, again I am not taking anything. Okay, just you need to print here lucky full stack. Okay, here whatever it is I printed here. Okay, just I need to create again one more thing. Okay, just whatever it is here again dynamically taken that id as well too, and email as a name as a lucky, and email as a lucky@gmail.com, and department as a full stack. Okay, and then whatever it is you created in the this controller here. In the controller we implemented that post mapping. This one it will showing here, right? Just I need to show here, uh, right, matching API slash API user info. This is the slash API and user info, this one. Okay, that is the reason this endpoint will accessing. It is the API slash id, it will get the get mapping. Let we will check here. It is a get here, right? Get all user, not all user, just you need to take just id, just API slash id, right? The slash id you should put whatever it is, id1, just execute. Here we can take, okay, id1 has a name Lakshman, and Gmail as a Lakshman@gmail.com, and department is a developer, right? It is, if you need to take, it is the one two. Here just execute that id again to id number 2 here, bind with it is a lucky and email lucky@gmail.com, department full stack, right? If it is 3, what will happen? If it is 3, it will take that 500 internal server error. Okay, because that type we created in that, right? Let I will explain here. Here public entity user info get info by at the rate path variable. This path will pass that path inside that id. Okay, that id type is integer, right? Where get user info, it is a variable. This variable to the user info service dot get user info by id. Here whatever get the user info, otherwise it will take the user info error, 500 internal error. Okay, and then we implemented one more thing. It is API slash all user info. This get all user mapping related thing. Let we can check here whatever it is. Just you need to try it out, and here how many users is there in database, it will showing up here by using the this endpoint. Okay, this endpoint name is slash API slash all user info, right? And then put mapping and delete mapping as well is same. Put mapping existing data, it will update by using the id, and delete mapping delete the inside the db by using the id. That's all about. If it is delete mapping happen is the given id is not there, is it will take the context. Let here in the delete mapping I am checking here, try it out. Right, 3 is not, don't have in our that IDs don't have in our database. That is the reason that internal error it will come, because it is the response status is 500. That's the reason we are getting that one. Okay, that's all about the project skeleton. And the backend API we created, okay, by using the Java 17 and Springboot 3.2.11, and we used the data JPA, Spring Dev tool, and we used the history database instead of using. Yes, we can bind here database related thing as well. Here application dot property name. In the application dot property name we mention all those things, property details here. Okay, I am bind with this 8085 port, and here username and password as well, and has to console is enabled. Let has to console is enabled or not, just we can has to console just type here h2 console is enable or not JSP, just put here, right? Not 1080, just you should mention 8085. Okay, this is the my yes, it's on the project and the driver URL and JDBC URL, and username is whatever it is I mentioned SA and SA, and password is password. Okay, password, just whether the thing or not, we can check user info table. Inside the user info table we can get the two things, right? Two users we created right now. That's all about thing, and the backend API we implemented. Okay, thank you so much. You can follow my channel as well, Java Full Stack Guru channel in YouTube. We will get the update related thing, all about update. We will update in that channel only. If you need to get the updates, you should take the you should enable the it is enable whatever it is. You can get the update with our end. You can subscribe my channel. Okay, thank you so much. Just wait.